Welcome back, mathletes. So we've got our first official lesson of Chapter 7, working with equations this time. We'll see that equations are special. They have a symbol that expressions don't have. We're still paying attention to all of our key operation words, so words that mean add, subtract, multiply, or divide. But we're rewriting sentences as full equations, which means we'll have an equal sign in these and it will balance out with a total, since that's really the job of an equal sign, is to keep a math problem equal. So let's take a peek and see how exactly are word phrases different from sentences. And so I have some phrases here, and this might be something that you've talked about in your ELA class. And I want you to compare a word phrase to a word sentence. And I want you to see what they have in common, but I mostly want you to pay attention to what's different. We'll pause the video while you look, make a connection, and then discuss with your partner. So you can see that word phrases are just partial. They're incomplete. So either they have a subject and no predicate, or they have a predicate and no subject. Either way, it's not a complete full idea. Math expressions are just like that. Word sentences are complete. They tell you who and what about them. So we have a subject and a predicate in a word sentence, which makes it a complete thought. In math, when we have a complete thought, we're going to call that an equation. They're slightly different from expressions. And so if you look on textbook page 278, they kind of show you the difference between an expression in math, which we've written, that's our power standard number 1. We've been writing expressions and solving expressions for a really long time. But now what we're going to be doing is writing equations, which is kind of like an extended expression. So it really has an equal sign. That's the difference between them. And when we're looking at an equal sign, normally I give you a math problem and ask you to fill in what's on the other side of the equal sign. In this chapter, I give you the answer. We have an unknown as part of our expression with an algebra variable. So take a peek. We've got a whole bunch of expressions here. We've written expressions. Now we're going to be writing equations. If we look here, we can see that the only difference between math expressions and math equations are that equations have equal signs. That's the only difference. They have equal signs and they have total values there. So we've got this equal sign idea. All this equal. All of these equations have equal signs. Notice that they also have the total that it equals. Expressions could have had an equal sign, but we wouldn't have known what it was equal to before. And so we need to have that information if we're going to solve to figure out how much is the variable. That way somebody doesn't have to tell me the value of P or Y or C or M. I can figure it out on my own. So we've got some language here, just like we did when we wrote expressions, and it's important that we're aware of all of those math vocabulary words that mean add, subtract, multiply, divide, because we're going to be writing a full math problem. And we know that that language is part of writing a math problem. Now we're going to have to figure out where does the equal sign go and what value represents our total that's going to balance out that teeter-totter, because that's really what the job of an equal sign is to do, is to keep things balanced and equal so that whatever value is on the left side is also on the right side. So we've got a vocabulary handout, I believe it's green, that has all of your add, subtract, multiply, divide words. What it's missing, though, are a bunch of equal sign words. So we're going to get some information. Now, our textbook gives us some examples of words that mean equal, but there's more than just this. So when we're looking and we hear the word is, that's the same thing as equal. The same as, that's the same thing as equal. If I said we have the same, your money is the same as mine, that means our money is equal. The word equals or is equal to. So jot some of these words down. These are words that mean equal. Our words include is equal to, equals, is equivalent to, that's a fancy one, is the same as, totals is in all, or sometimes just in all. So these are words that we're going to be on the lookout for because they're going to represent the symbol equal sign. And if we're going to be writing math problems, we know we need to remove words and swap them for symbols. And since we're writing equations, there has to be a word that represents the symbol equal because equations have equal signs. So how exactly do I write a math equation from a word sentence? Well, example 1 on our textbook, page 278, shows us 3 different options. I want you to look through A, B, and C to see how they used the word sentence and then wrote a math equation. We'll pause the video while you look. So you should see that when they have the word sum, since sum meant addition, they swapped that idea for the addition symbol. And where the is word was became their equal sign. On example B, decreased by was just a fancy way of talking about subtraction. So they swapped that for the subtraction symbol. And again, the word is represented their equal sign. Basically, they wrote it in the same order, just this time switching things out. When you hear the words a number something, and it's not a number, it's a letter, remember that just represents a single little variable. 12 times a number p just looked like 12p because side by side, number variable is a fancy way to show times, and that's multiplication word. And then they had the equals word on C, and equals became their equal sign. What words showed up on the left stayed on the left in the math equation, and the total value on the right stays on the right in the math equation. So it's basically write it in order. Whoops. So when you're writing an equation, I recommend find that equal word. We know that the equal sign is going to split our math problem into part of an expression and another part of an expression. Our total, though, is typically going to be not a full complete expression. It's usually just going to be a constant. So we usually say equals an answer or a number over there. But you could have something like something on the left equals a 15 minus 3. Well, that just needs to be simplified. But look for the equal word. There are a whole bunch, so be on the lookout for some of that math language. Find your variable. Look for words like a number or the unknown in the situation. Find all of your other math vocabulary words, like the example shows the words divided by, and I know that's just a division idea. And then read it and write it, and it pretty much stays in order. So a number x is really just a variable. Divided by is our symbol. 7 looks like 7. Totals is our equal sign word, and then TWO just looks like the digit 2. So we want to keep it in order as we're writing these out. Now eventually we will solve these, but for this lesson, we're just writing a bunch of problems. So we won't be able to solve them later if we don't understand how to write them first. Remember that there are lots of ways to show multiplication. 2 times a number x would be in the word form, but we can do 2 times x with parentheses. We can side by side the 2 in the variable. We can drop a dot in between. The little asterisk star is also a symbol for multiplication. The no-no though, 2x, x. Can't do that anymore. So instead of using an x for your multiplication way, find a fancier way, a more middle school approach to algebra, and show your multiplication. Also, remember that there's division being shown in other ways as well. So with the division idea from up above here, if I didn't want to use the division symbol, and heads up, in 7th grade, you won't see this division symbol very much longer. The other way I could have written it would have been my variable x, and then my fraction bar for divide, then the number 7, and then do my equals, and then my 2 on the other side of the equation. So here's an example. I'm going to write my word sentence as an equation. So first thing I'm going to do is just read it. Just like an ELA class, if you really want to understand the situation, take some time and actually read it. The product of a number m and 7 subtracted by 8 is 52. So first thing I notice is that I have an equal sign word, is. So I know that on my equation, this is where my equal sign is going to go, and the 52 is going to follow it. Now, I need to build the rest, and that's where all the rest of that expression word comes in. So product is a fancy way of talking about multiplication. So this is going to be a multiply idea, but I'm not going to use an x. A number m is really just my variable m. What I'm going to multiply is my variable, and so the multiplication symbol is going to drop in between the variable m and 7. So I'm going to write my variable m and then a multiplication symbol with the 7. So now I've shown that the variable m and 7 are being multiplied, since product means multiply. And the rest of my language says subtracted by, so there's my subtraction sign, and then 8 just looks like an 8. So I wind up having the equation m times 7 minus 8 equals 52. Once we've kind of worked through all of our different vocabulary, we want to write it where we only have numbers, variables, or symbols. Forget the words. Let's give you one to try. We'll pause the video while you turn your word sentence into a math equation. So let's see how you did. I've kind of color-coded all of the different parts. So a number A is really just a variable A. I'm going to put that first. Times is just a multiplication. So I chose the symbol of dot to show multiplication. 6 looks like a 6. Decreased by is fancy for subtraction. 8 looks like the number 8. And then comes my equal sign, is equivalent to, and then there's the 15. So A times 6 minus 8 equals 15. How'd you do on that? Were you able to write the equal? It's another example. I'm going to write this word sentence as an equation as well. The quotient of a number p and 7 increased by 12 equals 42. So I notice that I have the quotient of as a math phrase. And if I wasn't sure what this math phrase meant, I shouldn't just guess, because 25% of the time I'm going to guess right, and 75% of the time I'm going to guess wrong. I'm going to look it up on my math vocabulary handout. Quotient is a fancy way of talking about division. So I'm going to need a division symbol. And what I'm going to be dividing are the next two things. So my division symbol is going to go in between a number p, which is really just a variable, and 7, which is just a digit. Then I come across the words increased by, and that's just a fancy way of talking about add. And then 12 looks like 12. Equals is my equal sign word. So when I write this out as an equation, I get my variable p divided by 7 plus, for my increased by idea, 12 equal sign 42. Another way that I could have written the beginning of my equation was a number p divided by 7, and then plus 12 equals 42 instead. We'll give you a chance to try one. Write your word sentence as an equation. We'll pause the video. So a number r is your variable. Split into is a way of showing division. And we're going to divide that variable by 4 parts. Then comes the added to idea, which is just an addition symbol. 3 looks like 3. Totals is your equal sign, and then 38. Another way to write it would have been your variable r over 4, because that's another way of showing split or division is happening. And then followed by the plus 3 idea and the equals 38. So how'd you do on that one? Here's my next example. I've got the difference between a number and 7 increased by 3 is equivalent to 14. So when you feel like there's a lot going on in the sentence, don't think about taking it all on at once. Just look for little parts and kind of step your way through it. The difference between is a phrase that means subtraction. Well, I'm going to be subtracting the next two things. A number, which I know in algebra represents a number we don't know. When we don't know a number, we use a variable. Since they didn't give me a variable to use, I'm just going to pick the letter y. So a number y is going to be subtracted because the and word shows where to put that difference symbol, and that's a subtraction symbol there. So I'm going to drop my subtraction symbol in. The next part on my sentence talks about 7, and I know that that just looks like 7. My next part or phrase in my sentence uses the wording increased by. So I know that that's just a fancy way of doing addition. Next up, 3. And the 3 just looks like 3.
Please excuse us.
Is equivalent to is my equal sign phrase. And then 14 just looks like a 14. So I end up with my variable y minus 7 plus 3 equals 14. Now we can simplify this and then eventually we'll solve this, but for today we're just writing it as a math equation. Let's give you one more to try. We'll pause the video while you write the equation. So your equation could have been 9 plus 2 times n, your variable, because twice means multiplying your variable by 2, equals 12. Now there's a couple different ways to show that 2 is being multiplied by the n, and because we've got that extra idea of addition with the more than, we know that when we're doing more than, we can switch those values around, and when I'm adding, the commutative property says that's okay. So if you wrote it as 2 times n, then plus 9 equals 12, it ends up being the exact same equation. It just looks a little differently in your order. But these two equations are the same idea. How'd you do? Of course, it wouldn't be a lesson if I didn't make a mistake. So go ahead and see if you can figure out what mistake did I make and what advice would you give me to improve this? I hope you notice that the mistake I made is where my equal sign was. The word is after a number n. So I really should have written my n variable, then my equal sign, and then the 5 more than 12 would have been the 5 plus 12 idea on the other side of the equation. So this one, I have my variable on one side, and then my other parts of my constant values really on one side. I wrote it incorrectly. We know that practice makes us better. So we've got 3 different levels. You'll be writing different word sentences as math equations. Work together with your partner. When you get 3 in a row right, level up. Happy practicing.